everyone, it's Sharonda from Para Waits, and today I'm going to be reviewing Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1, which will hit the Netflix streaming platform this Friday. Just to let you guys know, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, hello, so glad you came, I hope you stay. I'll tell you what I liked about the series, what I didn't like about the series, and is it worth your time or not binging Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1, when it hits the Netflix platform this Friday. So just to let you know, this is going to be a spoiler-free review. I want to make sure that I protect everyone's viewing experience just as mine was protected before watching this season. And also, too, we waited 3 years, okay? It's been 3 years since I've had my Stranger Things fix, and that would be really disrespectful just a couple of days before its premiere to spoil it for everyone. So let's not do that, all right? So I'm going into what did I enjoy about this season. And just for those of you who might not know, the season is broken up in two different parts, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 1 hits this Friday, and there will be 2 more mega-sized movie-length episodes, okay, that will hit on July 1st. So going into what did I enjoy about this season of Stranger Things, and I have to say the horror. Like, I know people were saying when I saw the reaction, they were like, oh, it's dark and the horror. And I was just like, okay, y'all, don't be gassing this up and it's not going to really give me horror. But I am happy to report, y'all, you know that me and horror, we don't necessarily always mix because I get scared very quickly. And this season, it kind of reminded me of Season 1 of Stranger Things. I was like a little scared, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little scared. When I watched Season 1, I was like, hold on, I thought this was just supposed to be like sci-fi. I didn't know I was gonna be scared at the same time. And I had to start watching it during the day. I can be a G and admit that to you guys. And that was the same for this season. I started watching the episodes at night because, you know, you want to get in the mood, have it all dark outside. Like, let me get a, let me stop because y'all don't like it when I be singing. But I have to say that the horror elements were so good. Like, everything is dark, but they actually have a villain that is very menacing. Like, I was just like, hold on, y'all. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to, I don't know if y'all gonna win this time. Because the villain that we have in Season 4 of Stranger Things, like, it is a huge threat. The stakes are very high in this season of Stranger Things. And it's one of the first times that I kind of doubted my heroes. I know, before you throw the tomatoes at me, wait until you watch it and you will be second guessing as well. Like, homies, I don't know if y'all gonna make it. Like, maybe that's why they had to split it into two parts to kind of ease us into it. That's just me being a conspiracy theorist. That has nothing to do with the actual season. But I will say that with the character of the Vecra, I think the VFX looks amazing on the Vecra. I love the intricate details that we actually get to see. And I know what y'all thinking. They was like, why are they spending all these millions of dollars on every single episode? It's definitely the effects. And you can definitely see that they took their time to make sure that they were going to put out a great product. I will say that the VFX in this season of Stranger Things, it is very much top notch, especially when we deal with our main villain, but also too, as we get to explore different aspects of the Upside Down as well. I love this continuation of the world building and taking it a notch up with the effects of this season to truly make it feel like, wow, like 3 years, like I felt like 3 years was put into this, but also too, like it felt, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I was at the movies. I was like, we're getting all of this on Netflix, like streaming is just giving it to us like this. This is why we're spoiled right now. But I do want to give kudos to the team because you feel the hard work, the effort that was actually put into this season, and it looks absolutely amazing to watch on screen. Now also too, with our main villain, as we delve into the final episode of Volume 1, there is an amazing payoff that I just truly feel that we have to give kudos to the storytelling, the writing of Stranger Things. One of the things that I will say is it truly felt like watching these past couple of seasons, I wasn't sure if everything was going to connect. There's been certain aspects of our characters that we've learned about that they necessarily haven't actually come back to talk about. And I really felt like while watching Volume 1, that it felt like, wow, to see all of these storylines kind of intertwine and intersect to actually make sense. It feels like everything that has happened in these seasons of Stranger Things, everything has happened for a reason, has happened for a purpose. And you can tell that the vision from starting with Season 1 going into Season 4, you can tell that this was a well thought out process before, you know, everyone would know the actual success of the Stranger Things franchise. And we really get to see the deeper exploration for the emotional trauma that all of our characters have gone through over the course of these 3 seasons leading us into Season 4. We get some amazing storylines with with Millie Bobby Brown, which I'm just like, girl, the way that Millie Bobby Brown be acting, she was really giving it in the season so much that the emotional beats of volume 1, it hits hard. Like when things are happening to these characters, I got angry. I wanted to come through the TV screen and snatch some people up. I was sad because you truly feel all of these things that have happened to these kids who are now teenagers. They're in high school. To think of the weight and the heaviness of what they've actually had to go through over these past couple of seasons, you truly see the impacts upon our characters in season 4. And I think with the storylines with, even with David Harbour, with Hopper, dealing with, you know, his past traumas that he experienced before we was introduced to his character in the Stranger Things franchise, but also too with Max. You know, everything that Max had to deal with losing a loved one at the end of season 3, to even with 11, everything that 11 has gone through, from being experimented on, from losing another father figure, to see those emotional impacts and to see how well these characters, they're so good. Sadie and Millie, they're just so good at hitting those emotional beats that you become deeply invested in their characters. You're deeply invested in what the outcome is going to be. And I think that in volume 1, I think they give them even more to allow them to be able to shine. Now also too, it is a little dark and heavy because we are balancing these horror elements with everything that's happening to our characters. But I feel like they do a really great job of actually being able to balance the comedy in this series. You know, it's dark, it's scary at times, but they know when to lighten up, when to have fun, because we are dealing with teenagers. And then they do such a great job of still keeping you within that 80s vibe at the same time. But I do want to give some kudos to Gaten, who plays Dustin. He's very good at giving some of the comedic relief, as well as Eduardo Franco, who is a new character who plays Argyle, who you may know from Booksmart, but also too with Brett Gelman, who plays Murray, who definitely gave most of like the comedic beats in volume 1 of Stranger Things this season. I really loved his character, and I love what they did with his character, especially partnering him with Winona. I really liked their interaction, the chemistry that they had with one another. But also too, I'm gonna talk about my girl Priya, who plays Erica, but I'm gonna get into that and some of the issues that I have. While she was absolutely hilarious, as she always is with the screen time that she's given, we're gonna table that till we get to the issues I have with this season. But I just think that her character can definitely be utilized in a better way. I'm just saying it could be utilized a little bit better. We can do a little bit better. We still got volume 2. We still got a whole nother season after this. So I have faith that they will get this together. But also too, I will have to say some of the other standouts that I have is I really love what they did with Maya Hawke's character, Robin, Natalie Dyer, Nancy, Joe Keery as Steve. I actually understood the Steve allure. Like, I understood the Steve appeal after this season. I was like, you know what, Steve? I was always hard on you, but after actually seeing some of the things that Steve has to go through in this season, I was like, you are right in my book. I'm totally okay with this. But I really love them as this trio, and I love that they were given even more to do in volume 1 of season 4, and they have some very interesting storylines, and I really like the banter that they have as a group. Now, the storyline delving deeper into Eleven's backstory, of where we kind of go through, we learn a little bit more about what Eleven went through as she was being tested on. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't want to go too deep into it. While it did slow up a little bit, and I'm just like, this is starting to get a little bit repetitive, but as we get into kind of the finale episode of volume 1, I was just like, okay, that was worth everything that I had to endure in this season and the previous seasons. I was like, wow, like that was a revelation right there. That was some good payoff. But also too, I do like Jamie Campbell Bower, who is a new character in this season, who plays Peter. I love his performance. I love his character. You are going to fall in love with him all over again while watching him in this season of Stranger Things. But I do want to give a couple of more honorable mentions. It's a lot of people in this cast. Like, there's a lot of new characters introduced. So I know it's like, dang, Sharona, how many people are you going to go through? But it's really a lot more characters that are introduced, which I was very shocked that as we're getting into the close of Stranger Things, that they will introduce so many more people. But it was nice to see Sherman Augustus as Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan, who I don't know if his character is necessarily needed, but he was badass. I was like, okay, I'm scared of you. I'm scared of everything that you're doing in this season. But also, too, it was nice to see Miles True, who you may know from BMF, or Ken, who is Patrick in this season. And I do want to say I believe his name is Mason Dye, who plays Jason. I just want to say, I know that you're a good actor, but I just want you to be my life coach, because the speeches that he was giving me everything. I just feel like I could be a better person, that I could just go out into this world and achieve anything that I put my mind to. I can do it. So if you're watching, you're probably not watching this, but if you are watching, you need to be a life coach, okay? You need to create an app and just give inspirational speeches, because you did that in this season, okay? All right. Now, outside of that, there's also some good action scenes. I was like, there was a moment, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to write a letter to Netflix and be like, there's a lot of trauma that I went through while watching this season. There was a lot of the action sequences. There were things that happened that I was like screaming, clutched my pearls, jumped out of bed. I already had to stop watching this series at nighttime because it was getting a little too dark. It was getting a little too scary. But I do think that it's very intense this season. Everything just feels jam-packed. There is a lot that's happening. There are some crazy things that happen that just really had me shook. And I was just like, I don't know how you keep elevating the bar every single season, but you did that. Now, even though I have a lot of things that I loved about this season of Stranger Things, I do have some issues. And a part of that, I kind of hinted to this, it's a lot of characters in this season. And I don't know if I feel like all of these extra added characters were needed, because at times it felt like this season was a little bit all over the place, because there's so many different storylines that we have to cover. We still got to cover our main core cast. And honestly, a part of our core cast gets sidelined, and I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. Finn gets sidelined, Charlie gets sidelined, and Noah gets sidelined. Their characters are all sidelined in this season, which it made me feel a certain type of way, because I felt like they were doing something with Noah's character that I still feel like they're doing, but I didn't get to see that evolve at all, because they really don't have anything to do in volume 1 of Stranger Things. I hope that changes for the next 2 installments that we have for volume 2 and with season 5. But I was kind of just like, of all the people to sideline, why would it be those characters? It just didn't make sense to me. And also, too, I do feel like David Harbour's character kind of gets sidelined a little bit, because he's kind of contained to one place for the majority of volume 1. And I was just kind of like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it does make me think back to the season finale of season 3, and it almost makes it feel like that feels cheap to me now, because you did all of that and had all of that emotional payoff to then do this with this character in volume 1. It was just kind of like, so what was the point of doing that if this is all you were going to do with that character? But like I said, this is split into 2 different volumes. You still have another season. I could be wrong, but it didn't sit well with me in this season. Also, too, with Winona Ryder's character, I just feel like her character is just there to serve other people, to worry about her son, to worry about Hopper. It just never feels like her character has any storyline that just deals with herself, if that makes any sense. And I have to be vague. I'll go into this deeper when we talk spoilers, when we do a spoiler discussion, but I just want them to do a little bit more with her character, because Joyce deserves the world, and Joyce deserves to have her own storyline outside of having to worry about somebody else. But yes, the new characters, while I do like I did like the new characters, I just felt like because we had all these new people, it took away from us actually being able to focus on our core characters. And because everyone is scattered literally all over different parts of the country and the world, it took you out of it. Like, something to be getting really good with this character, and then you have to stop and then go to this other character. And I'm just like, I mean, was it necessary to have all these new people? Because I feel like I'm just juggling a lot right now, and I don't know why I have to juggle so much. But also, too, it makes me upset because Priya Ferguson, who plays Erica, who is absolutely hilarious, and is hilarious in this season with the scenes that she's given, I just felt like, I thought we talked about this as a family. I thought after season 3, we said, hey, Give her everything. Give her all the screen time, whatever you need. Give us more of her. And then somehow in season 4, the math isn't math and the screen time isn't screen timing. Why do I not see more of Erica when you took all this time to add all of these new characters into the mix? Why couldn't she get some of that extra screen time? That's just my thoughts. We'll talk a little bit more as a family once the season comes out on this Friday. But overall, I still love Stranger Things. This is one of those shows where you're just like, give them all the money that they want, because they actually, you can tell that they use the money. Sometimes when you hear that, like, this is how much of a budget they had, you're just like, well, baby, where is it? Because I can't see it on screen. You see this in season 4, volume 1 of Stranger Things. It literally has knocked it out of the park. I hope that narratively that we get focused on some of the other characters that we come to know and love. But I really did enjoy it. It literally had me on the edge of my seat every single episode. And I honestly didn't even feel the screen time because I was so into what was happening on screen. I didn't even realize I had watched all these movies like in the course of 3 days. I was just like, wow, like it was really that interesting that you held my attention. I wasn't checking my watch trying to figure out, is this going to be over yet? So if you're already a fan of Stranger Things, you're gonna get your entire life while watching this. If you're not watching Stranger Things, I don't know why you're not watching Stranger Things, but you need to stop and go watch Stranger Things. Like, what is life if you haven't been watching Stranger Things? So I will tell you guys, this is definitely worth the binge, okay? It's definitely worth watching Stranger Things volume 1 of season 4, which it will hit this Friday. Those are my thoughts on the season. We will talk about this as a family in the spoiler review. I would just let me know in the comment section. Y'all want to talk about this Saturday, Sunday? You want to wait till Monday? Let me know in the comment section below. We will make a Stranger Things cocktail and talk a little bit about volume 1 of part 4 of season 4. But those are my thoughts on Stranger Things season 4 volume 1. As always, my name is Sharana from Pay Or Waste, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000, and until I see you again,